Fishing for bass in the fall, we're doing our top bait series, and one of the my favorite baits to fish when the water temperatures drop, and when those water temperatures fall, and I'm talking like below 65 degrees to 60 degrees, and it's coming up in a few weeks, mates. And you work your natural progression of those top baits. You can follow on YouTube, JL Scott Fishing, or on Facebook, JL Scott Fishing and Eats. One of my favorite baits, obviously, throughout the year, but mostly in the fall and in early winter, is, of course, the hair jig. Okay? Absolutely love these jigs. And what I'm going to talk about right now is one of the hacks you can do to any hair jig that you may have, with a little glue and a little stop by the store, and pick up some stuff. You can go to Hobby Lobby, you can go to Michael's, you can go to whatever place you can go. Walmart probably has stuff. And one of the little hacks I like to do with the hair jigs is look for hair jigs that have the gold. See that gold in there? Strips of gold, shiny flash, okay? Same concept, all right, of when we're talking about bladed jigs, right? Blades, spinner bait blades. Blades mean flash, right? Where you can add flash, okay, as well with certain materials that you can tie onto your jigs. Tie and then dab a little glue on them to hold them in place, okay? And that flash is just a subtle little change direction, okay? When you're bouncing that jig up, okay, that and the sunlight's coming in, and maybe you've got a little clearer water in the fall, okay? Summer's over with. We're doing this transition to the fall. Maybe you've got clearer water, and maybe you're in like 3 feet or 4 feet. Maybe, it depends on where you're fishing. And that sunlight comes in. And as you jerk, if you're playing this jig, okay, that sunlight reflects off of that reflecting gold. Look at that. Okay? And this is what you want to look for. So even though I could change my colors, okay, from a brown to a black, still got that gold, right? To a green, all right? Change it up. It's in there. See it tucked up in there? Okay, and as it gets wet, right? And then, as I said before, a copper brown with black with gold. So you can change these up, okay? Add, and one of the other hacks I like to do is you can take this, if you want, or even black. And then right at the base of the of your jig head, dab a little bit of glue and just yarn red. Go to the Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Walmart, wherever. Get the yarn, get the string, yarn, whatever material you want to use, okay? And put it red right smack on that. So when that red hits, okay, that they key in on that red. When they come in for that red, they're going to get this smaller hook, okay? I love this jig. I love these jigs this time of year to play on other fish species like trout and things like that. But there are so many fundamentally different things that you can do with this. Say I've got this and I want to add a little bit of weight to it. I want to get a little bit deeper. I want to get a little, maybe cast a little bit further. And it's just not this. This one just isn't doing it. Then you simply go ahead and you transfer it, and look at that, okay? Make it your Ned rig, okay? Add a little bit of a Ned on there. It's going to add a little bit of weight. You got two different presentations. This for just letting it out there, working it finessey, working a little bit of slow, okay? This one for a little bit deeper, a little bit different presentation, a little bit bigger profile, but you still have your gold, you still have all of that, okay, that you want to use. And this is just two variations. You could change this if you wanted to. You could change this to a grub. You could change this to a swim bait. You could change this to anything as long as you stay in that 2.5 inch or smaller, I believe, for this hook anyway. lengthwise. You probably don't want to go over that. I mean, you certainly could give it a go. But these are what are highly effective to me. You could change that up. So you have that presentation, which is a dual different presentation. And then same as here. Okay. With, without. All right. And just match the coloration of your hair jig. Okay. With the same basic colors that you've got in that hair jig with your Ned worm or your grub or anything like that. And you're going to find that they may be keying on a lighter, slower kind of movement, or they may be keying on a faster movement, depending on where you're fishing. And you got to experiment with that. But it's always great to have this ability. Take one bait, okay, say this size, and you're getting strikes maybe of smaller size fish than you're looking for. And then I'll go ahead and add a little bit, make it a bigger profile, and then go for your bigger fish. So this is just one of the techniques I like to use. It's one of my top 5 baits for fall fishing. I've been covering it on YouTube. You can find it in the September baits, top baits for September. We'll release another one coming up here in the next day or so. We covered underspins and top spins, okay? We also covered the frog, and the next release will be crankbaits. And then we're going to get into finally our jig and jerk baits, 2 of my favorite baits for fall fishing. All right, mates.